Hello, this is Paige Lindblom talking about Australian marketing and consumer behaviors. Australia as a continent was uninhabited until about 60,000 years ago. British slave owners used to drop off their unused and unwanted slaves as well as criminals onto the continent as punishment. Many who originally lived on the continent were convicts, like I said, transported from England in the 1800s. It wasn't until the discovery of gold in 1851 that Australia finally began to grow into a better developed colony. In 1986, the Australia Act was passed, which officially established the country's independence and paved their way into the future. Australia has had an exceptional economy that has been steadily growing the past 23 years. This unique achievement has granted a large variety of partnering nations as well as national wealth. The median wealth in Australia is one of the highest percentages in the world at 225K. Due to the high profitability, there is strong framework, extensive trade, and a successful investment relationship with the United States. Due to the high amount of trade occurring in Australia, there are high expectations and regulations on a wide variety of items. There are rigorous safety standards, food standards, transport safety, and border protection. Australia has one of the strongest safety and security standards with a wide variety of Asian countries, recognizing Australia as a leader in the national security field. Australia and the United States entered into a free trade agreement in 2005, which eliminated about 99% tariff lines for the United States. American firms are now able to compete with Australia's government on a non-discriminatory basis as well. All exports became duty-free, with the National Association of Manufacturers estimating an additional $2 billion more per year to Australia from the United States. The United States and Australia have similar belief system and morals in general. Although Australia is more laid back and informal than the US's constantly busy type of environment, they are still very similar in their national policies. Australia is also the only continent in which the entire population maintain a single kind of adaptation, hunting and gathering, into modern times. Australia is also a federation of 6 states which, together with 3 self-governing territories, have their own constitutions, parliaments, governments, and laws. This government follows Westminster-style government in line with the United Kingdom model. So much like the United States, Australia also has states that have their own policies and government. The people of Australia are truly unique compared to other well-developed countries in the world. Australia is the only continent in which the entire original population maintained a single kind of adaptation, hunting and gathering into modern times. It is suspected that the country is only used as a slave or convict drop-off and not a location where the humans thrived. As of the 4th of October, there were 25,103,000 members of the Australian population, with another estimated 1 million residing overseas. English is the primary language that roughly 76.8% of the population speaks. Although there are very strong ties to the church via their government, many Australians are not religious. Only 25.3% are Roman Catholic, with the next closest category of religion preference being no religion at 22.3%. Australia and the USA have extremely similar consumer behavior, mostly in relevance to their need for the newest and most greatest item. Australians also, like the Americans, need to have an item that is useful and will be useful for many years to come. Australians, like Americans, are interested in 3 main purposes for each of their products. First, products must be ethically sound in their production and distribution to each consumer. Products must also serve a purpose and have a reason for their production, and there also must be a large need or want for each product's production. The 3 main benefits of marketing in Australia include native English speakers, high internet usage, and disposable income. The majority of Australians do speak English as their first language. They also use the internet for a lot of their purchases. They're online the majority of the time when they're not at work. They also have a large disposable income for the majority. This means that they have more money to spend on less important things and more fun things instead. The 2 main problems with Australian marketing are, first, most exports on Australia are machinery, health products, and information and communication technology. If a company is hoping to introduce a new product that doesn't fit these main requirements, it may be more difficult to introduce the product to the market. Also, most assumptions about Australians and vice versa may be untrue, and it's important for a company to make sure they remain sensitive to the true Australian ways and vice versa for true product success. The 3 main things to overcome in Australia include terminology, humor, and local involvement. In today's Australia, citizens are called Aussies. This hyphenated slang term is an accurate representation of the majority of the country, laid back and informal. It's important to remember that most Australians use this terminology and also their humor in their day-to-day lives, less serious and formal than Americans' point of view. Local involvement is also very important to Australians, as it is important to help the community in everything they do, daily and the rest of their lives. This has been Australian Marketing and Consumer Behavior with Paige Lindblom. Thank you so much.